Once upon a time, in a village far, far away, there was a sly woman who didn't like to work at all. This woman had two daughters named Emily and Emma. Emma was a lazy and untalented girl. Emily, on the other hand, was a very hard-working and very talented girl. But their mother loved Emma more because she was younger, and she was still treating her like a baby. That's why she had Emily do all of the work.
Emily, hurry up and finish the chores so you can go out and sell the cross-stitches.
Because of her mother and sister's laziness, only Emily went to the market in the afternoons and sold her handcrafted cross-stitch. When she got home, her mother would only cook for Emma. Emily, on the other hand, tried to feel full by eating the leftovers from the meals. One day, Emily went outside to the edge of the well to make a cross-stitch. She started to embroider her cross-stitch with the crochet hook in her hand. At that moment, suddenly, a rooster mounted on her and began to crow.
Cock-a-doodle-doo! Cock-a-doodle-doo! Ow! Get off my head, you rooster! Oh no! My cross-stitch!
Emily was so sad that she dropped her cross-stitch into the well.
Mother is going to be so upset if she finds out. What will I do now?
Cock-a-doodle-doo! Use your brain and the bucket! Brain bucket, cock-a-doodle-doo!
Emily, as the rooster said, reached for the bucket hanging in the well. She was about to take the bucket with her hand when she lost her balance for a moment and started to fall into the well. When Emily opened her eyes, she found herself in a garden covered with colorful flowers.
What a beautiful place! Where am I anyway?
When she walked for a while, a rabbit appeared in front of her.
Could you help me, please? I can't get the carrot out.
Emily immediately went to help him and pulled the carrot that the rabbit wanted from the ground in one move.
Thank you so much!
As the rabbit happily walked away, Emily went her own way.
Hey, will you give me water or I'll wither and rot?
She saw a rose that was about to dry a little further ahead. Emily immediately came to the fountain to fulfill the rose's wish, took some water in her palm and poured it into the roots of the rose. The rose was revived and gave off a fragrant scent.
Thank you so much! Now I'll be able to live a long, happy life.
Emily continued on her way. After a while, she came across a house. In front of the house, a strange woman who looked like an evil witch was looking at her. Emily was so scared of this woman. She wanted to get away from there immediately.
You don't have to be afraid, my child. Come, I have something to tell you.
Emily went to the woman curiously.
My name is Holle. Everyone loves me very much. If you take good care of my little house, you could stay here as long as you want. All I ask of you is to cover my bed with feathers every morning. I don't know how to get home anyway. I guess I can stay for a bit.
Emily took very good care of the house, as Mother Holle wanted. Every morning, without getting bored, she did not neglect to cover Mother Holle's bed with feathers. Mother Holle loved Emily very much. So she was preparing very good meals for her in the evenings. This is how the days went by. Although Emily was very happy here, she started to miss her real home.
Mother Holly, you know I love you so much, but I want to go home now. Oh, Emily, I'm very happy that you worked here and stayed with me for so long. Of course you can go home now. I will accompany you on the way. Oh, thank you, Mother Holly.
Mother Holly brought Emily to a big golden door. The moment Emily was walking through the store, she's covered in brand new clothes and gold.
A little gift for you for being so caring and working for me. Here's the crochet hook and cross stitch you dropped into the well. Please take it. Oh, thank you so much, Mother Holly. You're a good person.
Later, Mother Holly covered Emily's eyes with her hands and asked her to count to 3.
1, 2, 3.
When Emily opened her eyes, she found herself in front of her house.
Cock-a-doodle-doo! Emily's back, and she's a golden girl now!
Seeing Emily, her mother and her sister Emma could not hide their surprise.
But how did you find such a beautiful dress? Emma, hush now. My dearest daughter, I was so worried about you. Why don't you tell me where you found all that jewelry?
Emily explained everything one by one. At that moment, her mother thought that Emma could do the same. She greedily sent Emma to the edge of the well. Emma threw the cross-stitch and crochet hook into the well. She jumped after them too. When she opened her eyes, she found herself in that mysterious garden where Emily had come from. She saw a rabbit after walking for a while. The rabbit asked Emma for help to get the carrot out of the ground.
No way! I can't get my hands dirty for a silly little rabbit.
Emma walked away without helping the rabbit. Just ahead, she saw a rose that was about to dry up. Rose asked for her help.
I can't give you water. You have all those thorns. They might hurt my hands.
Emma left without helping Rose. Finally, she came across Mother Holly's house.
I heard you're in need of someone to work here. I'm more than happy to take the job.
Mother Holly told Emma what she had to do at the house.
Remember, every morning you will lay feathers on my bed.
Emma agreed to everything. She worked well on the first day, laying the feathers neatly on the bed. But in the next few days, she started to avoid work. The house was getting dirty day by day, and Emma didn't care about the feathers on Mother Holly's bed. Mother Holly was furious when she saw that Emma wasn't working as promised.
I think it's time for you to go home.
Emma was overjoyed to hear this, because she wanted to reach gold jewelry and beautiful clothes as soon as possible.
Yes, that's right. I get my prize and I get to go home.
Mother Holly brought her to the Golden Gate. When Emma walked through the door, mud started to rain down on her instead of gold.
What's going on? What's this? This door didn't rain gold on you because you didn't do things right. Now count to 3 and go back home. 1, 2,
Then she found herself in the garden of her home. Seeing her, the roosters started to crow.
Cock-a-doodle-doo! Emma's back, and she's all muddy! Cock-a-doodle-doo!
Her mother and sister Emily were shocked to see her in the mud. Emma told them that these muddy clothes were her reward for not doing the chores Mother Holle had given her properly. From that day on, Emma understood the importance of doing a job with love and got smarter and started to make cross-stitch just like her older sister Emily. Thus, the two sisters lived a happy life by making and selling cross-stitch together.
Red shoes. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a very cute girl named Karen. She lived in a tiny house with her mother and was a very happy girl. She would ask her mother about everything she was curious about.
Mom, what are these tiny lights in the sky?
They are stars, Karen. Everyone who lives on Earth eventually turns into a star and shines in the sky forever. Karen only had one toy, one dress, and a pair of wooden slippers she wore on the street. The wooden slippers her mother made for her were not very comfortable, but they were the only ones she had. One day, Karen's mother got very sick. So Karen went to town to buy medicine for her mother, and along the way, she found a pair of red shoes in a box on the roadside. The shoes shone so beautifully that Karen couldn't help but bring them home with her.
Look, Mommy, I found these by the roadside. Aren't they beautiful? Just right for me.
These may belong to someone else, Karen. You should immediately take them back.
But if they had an owner, she wouldn't have left them there with the box.
Maybe the owner dropped it accidentally.
Then they shouldn't have dropped it. I found them. They belong to me now. They're mine.
Baby, listen to me carefully. I may not be able to buy you new shoes right now, but I don't want you to wear someone else's shoes just because of that. Please, don't be stubborn. Promise you won't wear these red shoes. Karen sadly promised her mother not to wear red shoes and hid them under her bed. Months passed by until one day Karen came home and couldn't find her mother in the house. She looked all over until she realized that her mother had become a bright star. The next day, on her way to her mother's funeral, Karen put on those red shoes. Those who came to the funeral couldn't take their eyes off Karen's shoes.
How dare she wear red shoes? So disrespectful.
But Karen did not care because she loved her shoes. A good-hearted old woman passed by the cemetery. This old woman learned that this little girl was now an orphan and wanted to adopt her.
Come with me, pretty girl. I will do my best to make you successful and beautiful when you grow up.
So Karen went to live with the old woman for many years.
Karen, you've been wearing these shoes since your mother's funeral. You need to take them off now. They're so dirty. No, I love my red shoes. Oh, Karen, don't be so stubborn. Come on, change your shoes. I'll buy better shoes, I promise.
Karen did not want to offend the old woman who had been so kind to adopt her. So she finally took off her red shoes and threw them away. Days passed until one day, Karen was playing in her new room with her new clothes and toys, and the old woman brought her a new pair of shoes. But Karen didn't like these shoes at all.
But these are blue. Very ugly. I don't like them at all.
So for years to come, Karen missed her red shoes a lot. She grew into a beautiful young lady, but her stubborn attitude never changed. Even when the old lady brought her gifts.
I don't want to wear this thing. But I knit this for you.
I'll never eat this food. Make me French fries.
At least take a little bite, darling.
The old woman was very upset when Karen got up from the table without having a meal. She made French fries for her and took them to her room. At that time, Karen was taking off her blue shoes. Look! See? All my things are so small now. I've grown up.
Well, come on then. Let's buy you new clothes and shoes.
Then the old woman and Karen went to the store. Oh, look! Just like my favorite red shoes. I must have them. Let's get these.
Karen, you don't need fancy red shoes. You need shoes that you can wear respectfully. Like if we need to go to a funeral. I can only buy you one pair of shoes. Let's buy those black ones and go home. I am very tired.
I don't care. If you don't buy both shoes, I'll walk barefoot everywhere from now on.
Little girl, I wish you weren't so stubborn.
The old woman bought the black shoes for Karen and spent the last of her money to appease her with the red sparkly shoes, too. They had to walk home on foot. The old woman's feet hurt a lot along the way, and she could not keep up with the spoiled Karen. And Karen didn't care. She walked on home with her new red shoes. One day, the old woman told Karen that they needed to attend a funeral in town.
Karen, be sure to put on your black shoes. Otherwise, it will be disrespectful at the funeral.
Karen looked at the black shoes in her room, and then at the bright red ones. She chose to put on the red shoes. When they left the house, she covered them up with her skirt, so the old woman would not see the shoes. However, at the funeral, everyone saw Karen's shoes, shining brightly under her skirt. They spoke amongst themselves about Karen's red shoes at the funeral and about how disrespectful the shoes were. When what was said came to the old woman's ear, she got very angry.
You didn't listen to what I told you, and you put on the red shoes again. You're so stubborn, Karen. Show some respect.
A handsome young lord passing by at that time was struck by Karen's beauty. He came to her and went down on his knees and gave her compliments.
How beautiful you are, and so delicate in these beautiful shoes.
My lord, you make me blush.
You must be a very good dancer. I invite you to the dance night in the palace tonight. Please come.
With the happiness of the Lord's offer, Karen started dancing with joy. But after a while, Karen couldn't stop dancing. Why can't I stop my feet? What is happening? Oh! Karen started walking away from the old lady and the Lord while she was dancing.
Karen, come back.
Even though the Lord chased Karen for a while, he lost her. Karen's red shoes turned out to be more stubborn than Karen. They took her until top of the mountain and made her dance day and night for 3 days. Karen's feet hurt so much that she screamed at every step.
Oh!
Even though they got into the mud and prickly needles stuck, the shoes kept dancing. Enough! I'm very tired. I won't be so stubborn from now on. I promise. Please stop. Shoes, please stop. Stop. And when Karen said she'd give up all her stubbornness, the red shoes jumped off her feet, and Karen, too, fell to the ground. And the red shoes kept on dancing without her. Karen found a stick and managed to limp home in pain. Her legs hurt a lot. She started to cry with happiness when she saw her house. The old woman greeted her at the door. They hugged each other. I know I was a very stubborn girl, but I promise I won't be like that anymore. After Karen gave up her stubbornness, things started to get better. One day, someone knocked on the door. It was the young and handsome lord.
Well, there you are, Karen. I tried to keep up, but you danced so fast. How did you do that?
Karen was glad to see the handsome and young lord. That was the day the Lord and Karen's love began, leaving stubbornness behind. Karen lived a happy and peaceful life.